Guys, I was away for a while because I had a big kerfluffle. I lost my job at the box factory. I got walking pneumonia, so I wasn't exactly in any kind of capacity to make any videos, but I wanted to do a couple. I mean, I have a new job now, so I'm driving about, 25 minutes out of town. It's a nice little country drive, so I figured it's safe enough. I'll keep my eyes on the road and just do a video. So one of them I was going to do was me working at the box factory. It was cool because I had 12 hours to kill, and it was a very mechanical job as far as being automatic. You just don't even have to think about doing it. So I'd spend a lot of time just daydreaming and thinking about, like things that happened to me when I was younger and the way I dealt with things, and then like things that aren't my fault that I blame myself for, that I kind of go, you know what, we're all stupid when we're young. We all do stupid things. So one of my philosophies was, if you forgive everybody who's wronged you, in a karma sense, then you should be forgiven for everything you've done, right? And I figured just bygones be bygones. Why not everybody just fucking chill the fuck out? Look at him. I hate being stared at. It enrages me, and I'll get to that in a second. So anyway, I'm sitting there thinking about all this shit and how when I was a kid, I used to be very aggressive. And the two most aggressive people I've ever met are my uncle and my brother. Like, they are the type that, not aggressive to everything, but if you leave them alone, they're fine. If you go up to them and fuck with them and like get in their face and try to think you're gonna alpha male them, they turn into fucking absolute savages. Like, they will fucking rip your head off. My brother's been in fights with 2, 3, 4 guys. He doesn't give a fuck. He's like, you guys can beat the shit out of me now, I'll find you all later. And my brother's notorious around here. Like, he has a fucking reputation. Even now they're like, you're Jeremy's brother? I'm like, yeah. Like, so anyway, you don't fuck with them. That's all you gotta do. Like, just leave them alone. That's it. Anyway, so I was sitting here sorting out, thinking about my, the way I am, the way I deal with things, and all of a sudden, I don't even remember the mental path I took, but I uncrossed 2 wires, and it turns out, I can tell you the result is, every time I'd get angry or got into a confrontation, I would push it up inside myself, and that's what was causing a panic disorder and all these really negative things that were happening in my life. And I couldn't progress. Like, I had to figure this out, or else I was just never going to be a complete person. So, as of me uncrossing these 2 wires, my adrenaline goes off. My adrenaline actually goes off often. Little pops of adrenaline constantly. And this is something I used to be afraid of, is adrenaline. Now I'm like, that's me. Like, that's part of my just existence. And by doing that, my energy level skyrocketed. My confidence level went up. My just well-being level went up. My strength like tripled. It's ridiculous. And especially when I get mad, my strength just goes back in. So I realized that I was always afraid of confrontation. Now I'm like, bring it the fuck on. Like, it's... For example, I was pulling into my driveway, and there was this dude there with this chick, and she was some little punk chick, and this guy was on a bicycle early in the morning, like 7 o'clock in the morning. I just worked at 12. I was in a shitty mood, very tired. So I pull up to my parking spot where I always park, and he thought it was pulling up to him. Like, I don't know if he's just always in trouble or what. But he was taking his shirt off as I pulled up, and he was like big, like the size of me, like height-wise, but he had a big chest, big arms, big wide back, he had a big neck, a lot of tattoos, hat on backwards, really intimidating looking guy, and he's staring at me, and I pull up, and I like, my head's turning, and I'm like, is there a problem? And he turned away, and he kept going, and he was looking back like, what's that guy's problem? But if you can picture from his perspective, he's a guy that nobody challenges, because obviously, look how scary he looks, and I was ready to fucking go toe-to-toe with him, because I don't like being stared at. That's the one thing that just fucking drives, my blood starts boiling, and I just want to kill. And there's no reason, like, if you take a look, do I know you? But I find when people look at me, they just, I don't know if it's just an aura I give off, like, I don't know what it is. I'm just a guy who attracts attention. And every time I've been stared at, it's not like I felt like I'm being, like, intimidated or challenged, but it fucking enrages me. Why would you stare at somebody more than a couple of seconds? Especially because there are a couple of guys that I run into regularly that try to, like, fucking stare me down. I will not lose a staring contest. If you want to be that fucking petty, I will show you. Even on this, I will be a berserker. Anyway, it's nice. Like, I'm not saying I'm going to fucking join the UFC and be the toughest guy, but it's just nice to know that now I'm not afraid of confrontation. I'm not afraid of anybody. I'm not afraid to stand up. And oftentimes, when somebody challenges you, you just get right in their face and say, yeah, we can settle this right now. And they go, oh, yeah, exactly. Don't fucking push. Don't punch my clock unless you're willing to go to work. So anyway, this is a thing, like, and I discovered something else about myself, my libido. I repressed that too. It's something, I don't know, it has to do with guilt and just not I don't know, just feeling like you're overstaying your welcome with a girl, like you're imposing, and that's one of the worst feelings in the world. So I'm still figuring this out. I'm 36. I should, like everybody else I know, had figured out this shit years ago. But I mean, I'm going on and having Asperger's, no guidance my whole life. Just, here, figure life out. Go for it. So anyway, it's something that I'm still working on. I'm still discovering new things that are, like little nuggets that, yeah, you got to deal with this to become a complete person. And hopefully anybody, the 2 people that watch my videos, if this helps you in some way, realize, like, holy shit, I do the same thing. It was almost like having an epiphany and you see God. That's what it felt like to me. Like, oh my God, it's like a movie where that main character is, I don't want to do this, I'm scared. And then he finally gets the balls and he realized it made him a better person to go through a personal hell. I mean, it's been quite the fucking journey. I didn't have to go on this huge, long process. There's many times I should have stood up for myself and gotten in somebody's face and, started throwing punches. But maybe it's better that I didn't, because I always knew I had that anger in there somewhere, and I was afraid to use it. And I've never hit anybody except for one time in grade 3. I punched my best friend everyone was making fun of me in class, just sucked. And then he just happened to say the wrong thing wrong time, and I punched him in the nose, and he went down. He had a bloody nose, and I didn't really feel guilty about it. It's not like I have a thing where I don't want to hit others because of that. That incident didn't really bother me. He apologized that day, and I said, yeah, I'm sorry I hit you too, and we were fine ever since. He's a really cool guy. I felt bad that I hit him for a bit. But it's not something that haunts me. But it's just I had a personal thing where words are one thing. You can scream, you can yell, you can say what you want. Once you lay your hands on somebody, that's where the ball game changes. And I'm a firm believer in you can, try to act tough all you want, but once you actually lay your hands on, like you try to attack somebody, you should get whatever's fucking coming to you. It's just one of those things. That's a big thing in my book. Like, don't lay your hands on somebody unless you're fully prepared to take, like, possibly, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there's a possibility you're going to get your ass handed to you. So I just wish there were more guys in the world that would realize you don't like somebody, just avoid them. You just don't have to talk with them. If you're working with them, you can at least be like a respectfully ignore kind of thing. Anyway, I just thought I would describe what I'd been through. I tried to do this video a few times, but it just didn't turn out, and I got sick. And walking pneumonia, I had 2 rounds of antibiotics because the doctor didn't listen to me the first time when I told him. Like, because if you go into an after-hours clinic, I imagine he's got all kinds of people coming in saying, oh, I got cancer. It's not. You got the flu. Like, people would say all kinds of things. But I actually talked to somebody who had it and gave it to her son. And based on my symptoms, I did have it. I was sick for 2 months. Like, it was the worst. I had no energy. I couldn't breathe very well. Felt like I'd sleep 10 hours a day. Wouldn't even put a dent in it. The good news is after taking this Bioxin, I think it's called. I can't remember. I feel better than before I got sick because it's almost like I had something else, like another bug that I just never got rid of, and it had just been draining me. It's that little, because now I feel I'm still, trying to get my energy level back because I work at a water bottling clinic now, and I lift those 42-pound jugs all day. 160 on the truck. They got to be lugged on, so I lift each one once. They got to be offloaded and delivered. That's a second time, and then at the end of the day, I fill the empties and put them on pallets. So I lift literally 160 jugs, 42 pounds a piece, 2 at a time, times 3. So you can imagine the workout I'm getting from doing this. And it's not as hard as the Box Factor, because the Box Factor is more like a marathon. Like, this is very hard, short bursts of activity with some driving, and then, you get to get your wind back. But I don't run home at the end of any day feeling like I'll be mentally tired because, okay, I got a lot on my plate, blah, blah, blah. But I never feel like I'm beat to rat shit. And the hours are decent because you start, I get up at 5:50 in the morning, which is early, but I'm used to that. And then I get done at varying times. The earliest is usually about 4, so I do get some extra hours, which is really nice. It's good. It's a very small company, but we're very reputable. We have a good source. I mean, we get tested. We have some of the best prices, but we're just the small guy on the block. But anyway, I just thought I would do an update. I got to do a few more videos. When I get the chance, I got a few more philosophical type videos, just musings, all this regular shit that I just come up with on a regular basis that I have to get out there and just yak, give you a little content if you're fucking bored and I'm tired of hearing silence. Let's hear what this guy has to say, that kind of thing. But anyway, I'm trying to think if I forgot anything. I've done a video in a while and I feel dumb about it, but this time I had a good excuse. I was fucking like deathly ill. Like, my mom saw me and she was worried. Like, she's the type that, nothing phases her. She's seen everything. She works in the hospital as or not in the hospital, in the prison. And she has worked on the cancer floor, so she's seen real sickness, and she was worried about me, so it was pretty crazy.